I was in a relationship for over 18 years and it didn't work out. I invested a lot of time in that relationship, and when it broke down and finished, it left me broken. I thought I could bounce back and have another relationship, but even that spiraled out of control, and instead of feeling better and getting better, I got worse. And this affected my health and my career and my life. I sought medical help from a psychiatrist. I was referred from my doctors to a psychiatrist, and even that didn't help. I suffered from very bad migraines and I had very high blood pressure. Coming to the church really helped me. The messages I received, the teachings I received, it built me up, it strengthened me, and I realized that I could gain strength from it, and it really helped me tremendously. Today I am happy. I no longer have the depression. I no longer have the high blood pressure. I no longer have the very severe headaches that I had in the past. And I'm looking forward to a brighter future.
Hello, a very good evening and welcome to Finding Answers. Now, before I talk about tonight's topic, let me just tell you that we are going to be having in this show very soon the world's greatest villain. Now, usually we bring people on the show that have changed, and the world's greatest villain hasn't yet changed, he hasn't yet rehabilitated, but he will be on the show very soon. I have Victoria here with me. How are you, Victoria?
I'm very good, thank
you.
you.
Do you know who he is?
I just hope it's not me.
No.
No, I don't know who he is.
No. But I will introduce you tomorrow to the world's greatest villain. Now, picture someone who could potentially be responsible for the majority of your problems. Not all, but the majority of your problems. What would you do if you could grab by the scruff of the neck that one person that is responsible for the majority of your problems? I mean, could there be such a person? Could there be a villain that is responsible for most things that go wrong? You'll find out tomorrow, because this villain will be a guest of mine in tomorrow's show. He has not yet rehabilitated, he has not yet changed, he won't be here to give his testimony, but he will be in the show tomorrow. However, tonight we're talking about hitting rock bottom. Usually people say, look, I made a decision to change my life when I hit rock bottom. Or I've hit rock bottom, I don't know what to do anymore. And usually that point where you feel you've hit rock bottom, it's a game changer, either for the good or for the bad. Let's learn a little bit more about this through this video we prepared.
Try to remember that the ups and downs of life are what makes it so valuable. We hit lows before highs, and the cycle repeats itself, and most often it's without warning. But what if you're experiencing rock bottom? J.K. Rowling famously said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." Sometimes, in order to make long-term positive changes in your life, you have to hit rock bottom. The dictionary defines hitting rock bottom as a state of being where you feel as if you cannot sink any lower, emotionally, psychologically, or physically. When you do hit rock bottom, you have three choices. You can let it define you, let it destroy you, or you can let it strengthen you. When you do hit rock bottom, your days may be filled with chaos. You may feel like a total failure. Things may feel pointless for a while. But how do we pick ourselves up from rock bottom? Try to accomplish something in your day. That may be to go for a walk, phone a good friend for a chat. Attempt to clear your head at least once a day. This may be to go for a walk in the fresh air. This can relieve stress even if it's just for half an hour a day. Reach out to people and do something new. This could be even doing something for someone else. This may sound counterproductive, but going out of your way to do good for others can make you realize that you are not the only person in the world who is struggling. Try not to get into the mindset that it's you against the world.
You know, we're very aware that people are not at rock bottom every time. You know, rock bottom is, how can we say, it's a moment in life that you've reached because of certain circumstances, certain things that have happened to you. So probably this program tonight will not appeal to everyone, because maybe if you are watching me now and you're not at rock bottom, perhaps you're on cloud 9, then this program will not appeal to you. But this program will appeal, though, to those who feel that recently, just perhaps very recently, they've reached that point where they feel that things can't get any worse. Now, I want to talk to Victoria about this, because hitting rock bottom doesn't have to be a bad thing, right?
Generally, I would say hitting rock bottom is a culmination of bad things. But when you do actually hit rock bottom, you can actually see some signs as positive, because obviously there's nowhere that it can get worse, but it can also be quite a big motivator to get back up and start making changes to your life.
Yeah, but that point of the person hitting rock bottom, sometimes the person stops and thinks, you know, what can I do? I have to do something to get out of this place. It's like a person who, you know, is lost at sea in a boat with no way out. You know, the person goes through a point of giving up, but then perhaps when they hit that moment where they wake up and think, I have to do something, it's perhaps at that moment that they wake up and find a solution. And sometimes hitting rock bottom can be like that.
Yeah, it could be seen as maybe a moment of clarity. So maybe before you were following your feelings and your emotions and just going through the motions maybe, but then when you hit rock bottom, you might have maybe the light bulb moment where you think, right, let's change life and let's go for it right now.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes when you reach that point, when you reach that moment where you've lost everything, you've lost, you know, the people you loved, you feel completely alone, you've lost perhaps the most precious things you had. It's at that moment that you think, I haven't got anything to lose anymore. And then you start working, you start fighting for what you want with no fear. Because usually fear happens when you have something to lose, when you have something that is dear to you, that is precious to you. But when you lose everything of value, and that could be seen as hitting rock bottom, that's when you wake up to think, hold on a second, then if I've lost everything already, I might as well give it everything I've got. So why not make the moment of hitting rock bottom, if that's where you are right now, why not make that moment right now as a turning point in your life? Why not just say, you know, it can't get any worse than this. And of course, just because a person says it can't get any worse than this, it doesn't mean that it will get better. Because if you do nothing, right, I think it was Albert Einstein that said that madness is doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results. And if you haven't been doing anything to change things, or very little, and you continue to do that, life won't change by itself. But if you do something different, if you go down to that pit, you are in that pit right now, and you cry out for help, then He will help you. You know, the Bible says that God, He is not among the rich. He is not among those who live in a palace. He is among those who are in the pit. And when we cry out to Him, He answers us. Of course, you may be in a palace and you may feel like you have hit rock bottom. And if you cry out to Him, He will help you. If you are in this situation right now, you say, I feel lost, desperate. I have hit rock bottom. I've lost everything. Perhaps you have people around you, but you feel like you have lost everything. I want you to contact us because our team is going not only to motivate you, but they're going to pray for you. They're going to teach you how to seek the attention, the help of the one who can change your life and turn things around. The number to call if you want to speak to us is 020-7686-6300. That's 020-7686-6300. Or send us an email to help@findinganswers.tv. Victoria will be reading your emails, and they can also contact us via Facebook and Twitter, right?
That's it. Yeah, we have actually had quite a lot of new Twitter followers, which is great. So if you would like to send us a tweet, just start your tweets with @FindAnswersTV, or you can like our Facebook page. All you need to do is search for Finding Answers.
Can they put on Twitter #rockbottom?
Yes, they can. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm just learning how to use Twitter now, but that's it. We learn every day. But if you say, look, James, I have reached that point where I feel I've lost everything. Tonight's program is for you, and you can turn your life around. 020-7686-6300. We'll be right back.
How does a person gain control of themselves again? Let us help you. When we want to reach our goals, we research, act, and make sure we know everything there is to know about that topic. We study hard because that is the intelligent thing to do. This is the same for our development as a Christian. The Faith School is designed for those who want a degree in spiritual growth, those who want to separate time to study the Holy Bible and follow God's path for their life. There is no admissions fee and is suitable for every level of learner. You will learn how to interpret the Word of God for your daily life and become stronger internally. Do you want to find inner peace and spiritual strength? Then this course is for you. The Faith School, every Wednesday at your local UCKG Help Centre. For more information, call 020-7686-6000 or visit our website uckg.org.
Reminding you that tomorrow I will have sitting here in the studio with me the world's greatest villain. You're going to meet him. And I imagine that most people, if they could grab that one person who's responsible for the majority of their problems, it would be really difficult to hold someone like that, because they would want to really, give them a piece of their mind and a piece of their fist and everything else, right? Tomorrow, that villain will be here with me. Now, when we talk about hitting rock bottom, I'm going to just talk to Victoria a minute before I speak to the guests that are here. We have two guests who experienced reaching rock bottom in their lives. But what kind of mental pressures does someone go through when they reach rock bottom, Victoria?
Well, rock bottom is actually the point whereby all these mental pressures will dissipate. So will disappear, because it's sort of getting to the point where you have maybe, or you come close to a mental breakdown. So your body actually will have a culmination of all of these things: stress, depression, your cortisol, so the stress hormone will rise. But you get to rock bottom, and actually you may feel that all the pressures will be lifted from your shoulders, because you actually get to a state of exhaustion, which means that you basically will feel nothing, because everything is just so bad.
Yeah, and it's at that point that it's important for us to cry out to God, because when you go to people that you know, people that you love, they can sometimes tell you that they're there for you, but they can't really solve your problem. But God can. Let's go and meet our guests who are here ready to share the story.
It's pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Welcome back. So I have two very nervous guests here with me tonight. How are you, Jennifer?
Nervous.
Nervous?
Yeah.
But she's here because it's very important that people listen to her story. I also have here with me Mary. How are you, Mary?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're okay?
Yes.
More relaxed now?
Yes.
Good. So we're going to start with you, Jennifer. Prior to you coming to the church, how were you? I mean, what kind of problems did you have to deal with?
Well, before I came to the church, I was very, I was goalless. I didn't really have much vision for my life.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was stuck in a rut, and I went through. I don't quite know why it happened when it did, but it was a combination of things. I think me being unhappy with my life and not really feeling like I was strong enough. I didn't have belief in myself anymore, because my goals, I never really kind of got there. I never really put effort into creating them.
And were you, how did you deal with your problem? I mean, were you a person who believed in God, who went to church, or you didn't? How did you cope with your problems?
I kind of prayed in my own way. I would talk to friends, and yeah, I did believe. I believed in spirit. I believed in that we're connected to something, and there's something bigger than me. And
is it fair to say that perhaps you just didn't know how to use your faith? Is that how it was?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So you didn't have goals, right? You didn't believe in yourself. How did that start to affect you on the long run?
Well, I had a breakdown initially, I think, because I felt lost, and I ended up getting very depressed, and started to get panic attacks.
How would that happen? I mean, would you have them under certain circumstances, or would they happen anywhere?
No, it just kind of happened last year, and I think it was just, looking back at it now, it was just a kind of build-up of me losing faith in me,
Right. Is that when you had, more or less at the same time, you had the breakdown?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And for those who don't understand what a panic attack is, I mean, I've never really suffered with that. So how does that manifest itself? What do you feel exactly?
It's horrible. You get. I had hot sweats and my palpitations. Your heart rate goes really up, and it was also the way I was thinking as well.
Right.
I was started to get very negative in my thinking, and it kind of snowballs. You start thinking in negative ways, and then you get all these horrible feelings, very hot, palpitations, and it wasn't very nice. When
you at your lowest, when you were struggling with depression, When did you feel you hit rock bottom? What was the lowest point of your life?
Over a year ago, I started to get the panic attacks, and I was also not sleeping very well.
Right.
And I had three nights that I didn't sleep, and I was getting the panic attacks as well, and that was the lowest point that I got to. I remember sitting under a tree, and I was having all these horrible thoughts about how I wanted to stop feeling that way, and I didn't know how to. And
did people around you know how you were feeling?
Yes, I was talking to friends, and I'd gone to the doctors, and they were giving me antidepressants, and I didn't want to take them.
Did that just numb the pain, or did it solve the problem? Did you feel it was helping you?
I felt it was helping because I was going to get help, and I felt that was, I was moving in, because I was asking for help. It was moving me in the right direction.
And I guess the final question would be, when you talk about depression, people usually think you're depressed about something because you lost a job, because something really bad happened to you. But there are people who struggle with depression that don't have any of those problems. They're okay, they're healthy, they have, food on the table and so on. What do you think made you depressed?
Because I wanted more from my life.
Right.
I have, this something in me that wanted much more than I was, actually generating in my life, and I didn't really know how to change, to adapt. I knew I needed to change in my mind.
Right.
I knew it was down to me to change. I had to be different, but I couldn't see how.
So all the pressure from the things that you weren't achieving, from falling short perhaps on the things you wanted to achieve, made you feel these things inside. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's interesting because your problems were very much within you, inside you, right? Now if we go to you, Mary, how are you?
I'm fine,
Okay.
thank you. Yes.
Your problems were very different. You were facing real problems outside that really put a lot of pressure on you. What kind of problems were you going through before, Mary?
Yeah, before we came to the church, my husband and I, we have so many problems. Debt, and we were stuck, like turning the same place. We don't know what to do. It was like no way out for us.
Right. How much pressure does debt put on you when you start to go through a moment where you feel you're sinking in debt all the time? How much pressure does that put on you and your family?
You have no peace.
No peace.
No peace. Because...
Did you have a good marriage?
Yes.
You loved your husband?
Yes.
And he loved you?
Yes.
So how come you didn't have peace?
Because we are both together on it. We live together, so we share everything together. So as long as he doesn't have peace, I don't have peace as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but people say that, if two people are together and they love each other, then money doesn't really matter. But then money matters, because, although you loved each other, that money was causing problems. Did you ever argue because of money, because of the money problems you had?
No.
No?
Not at all.
So was it just the worry of these things that you had to pay that you couldn't pay?
Yes, yes.
What was the worst point, the rock bottom that you had in your life?
The rock problem that we have in our life, it became to the point that we went to the bank because we wanted to buy a property, but they turned us down.
Why?
And because my name and my husband was in the red list,
Right.
so we couldn't.
So you didn't have just a little debt, it was a big problem.
Big problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So how
we
did you...
didn't know how to sort out that problem.
Right.
We didn't know, because some debt was from long time, so we didn't know how. Where do we start? So it was very, very stressful for us.
Okay. So you you wanted to buy a house.
Yes.
You had a dream to buy a house.
Yes.
That wasn't happening. Your marriage was being affected because of this pressure of the money and the debts that you had.
Yeah.
What did you try to do to solve the problem?
Well, what we did, we went to the church.
Before you came to the church,
Yeah.
what did you do before you came to the church to try to solve that problem?
We tried to pay some debt, but the money wasn't enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So no matter what
So
you tried,
because it was here and there, the debt. It was not. We were not owning just one company or one person. It was like here and there, so many debts. So we don't know where to start. So
you were lost.
Yes.
Okay. And I want to stop you there because you see how interesting this is. That a lot of people say that, you're going to cut my head again. You see, don't cut my head. I keep telling you, don't cut my head. You know, a lot of people say like this, James, if you'd have two people that love each other and, if you love each other, you can live in a hut somewhere, you're going to be happy. It's a lie. Because money cannot buy you happiness. But money plays a part in relieving your mind of stress, of pressures. You may be with someone that you really love and the person loves you, there's respect, there's faithfulness, there's all these things that are important. But the problem is, because of all these outside pressures, you feel like your life is falling apart. And whether you like it or not, this will take a toll in your relationship. And I want to go to Victoria on this and this thought that you can just love, someone and live in a remote place somewhere without having to worry about money, or we live somewhere and as long as we love each other it's fine, is a lie.
It is when you have to, pay your bills and support yourself with your home and all the kind of things that come with it. But it's a shame because I did start reading an article just about this yesterday of a woman who went to a very remote tribe and she monitored their happiness, but I ran out of time. And I wish I hadn't. I must go back and find that because these people had nothing, hardly any possessions. They didn't have bedding, that kind of thing. And I think at the end of it, she found that they did have happiness, but I'll get back to you on that. But
the difference lies in the fact that we don't live in a remote tribe.
Yeah. So
we have mortgages and we have, interest rates and we have travel and all this kind of stuff. And that's the difference. I do believe that someone who doesn't have to worry about money is a lot happier. I agree with that. The problem is that where we are, where Marie was, she did have to worry about that. And in today's society, in our reality here in the UK, and in most places where you're watching this program, and by the way, sometimes we get calls from Belgium, from Scotland, from Holland, and wherever people are now watching this program, usually perhaps your reality is that money plays a big part in your life. And maybe that stress has been affecting your family. If you feel that you've reached rock bottom because of your financial life, because of money, then or because of anything else, give us a call. You will hear in a moment how Marie changed her life, how she got out of that rut that she was in. The number to call is 020-7686-6300 or send us an email to help@findinganswers.tv. Or if you want, you can contact us via Facebook or Twitter. Just use, what's the Twitter address again?
@FindAnswersTV.
And you can use #rockbottom, okay? We're going to go into a break. We'll be right back.
At Christian Books Plus, we offer a range of Christian books, Bibles, gifts, DVDs, and so much more. Our headquarters is situated in Finsbury Park, North London, and we have a few other stores located across London and around the UK. Our aim is to provide you with inspirational reads and beautifully packaged gifts that will enhance and strengthen your walk with God. However, if you prefer, you can shop from the comfort of your own home. On our newly revamped website, you can find the full range of products that we sell, from children's stories to Christian music. Purchasing from us is simple and easy. Select what you'd like, add it to your basket, fill out your details and proceed to the payment section, where you'll be able to make your purchase securely and have all the items delivered right to your door. We strive to provide the best service at all times, with staff that are warm, friendly and always ready to help.
Many people say like this to me, oh, I'm a very private person. I don't like to share. But I have been like this as well. Until the day that I realized that if I didn't open up, I wouldn't be helped by anyone, and I needed help.
So today was my first time and I absolutely loved it.
Our thoughts really affect those three main areas, and for me, really being positive today was really just a big eye opener how positive changes will make such a big difference in all that I do. So yeah.
They break it down so you can work on it bit by bit, and then before you know it, you're closer to your goal.
You get what you give out.
Women need this. Women need a meeting like this.
Welcome back. So we were talking to Marie just a few moments ago, and she was telling us how the pressures of debts caused a strain on her life, on her marriage, not necessarily because of arguments, but because of the stress, you know, the worry, and having to see her husband worried made her worried as well. Now, when you came to the church, Marie, how did your life change? What happened? Because you are no longer in that situation now, but what happened as a result of you coming to the church?
Yeah, when I come to the church with my family, our life start to change bit by bit.
But like magic?
No.
No.
No, didn't happen like magic.
Right.
We start to follow that chain of prayers. We start to seek advice from pastor. Then he say, you need to come every day of the service.
Let me just stop you there for a second. So you made a chain of prayer?
Yes.
Jennifer, what about you? When you came to the church, did you make a chain of prayer as well?
Initially, no.
Not initially?
No, because I'm very new to the church,
Right.
a church.
Okay.
So I was a spectator for quite
Okay.
a while.
But eventually you made a chain of prayer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm asking because this bit of the chain of prayer is the first step when a person starts attending the church, because that's where they learn how to use their faith and so on. So you made a chain of prayer. You were getting the support from the pastors, a so
Yes.
important support.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, how is your life today, Marie?
Today, my life has changed a lot.
Is your name still
Because-
in the red?
No.
In the black?
No, not at all.
It's
Not
free.
Free.
What
Free of
color is your
debts.
name now? So today you're free from debt.
Yes.
And what about that dream of you wanting to buy the house?
Yeah, the dream is completed.
It came true?
Yes. The dream come true. We managed to buy our own house.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have our own house.
So now you don't have that pressure of the debts anymore.
No.
How is your family now that you are all in the presence of God? How are things at home?
We have peace. We have joy. We are happy.
What's more important for you, the house
No.
or the peace and joy you have in your family?
The peace is more important.
That's
Peace
great.
and joy is very, very important. House is important, but it's not.
Not the same as
No,
the family
no.
in peace.
No.
Okay, that's
No.
great.
Yeah.
Now, Jennifer, how did you find out about the church? Who told you about the church?
My friend, Maureen, but she
Right.
didn't tell me about the church initially. I actually came to the church through an event, the Love School event.
Right. So that was not this year's Love School, the year before.
No, it was the year before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was your first contact with the church. And then what happened? You came like the Sunday afterwards, or?
Yeah, because they had follow-up meetings, 7
Mhm.
follow-up meetings, and I wanted to go because I really,
Mhm.
I loved the meeting.
Mhm.
So, and I didn't really want to go to the church, but I thought,
Mhm.
well, I'll go to the meeting. And I started going, and I just loved it. I loved.
What was it about it that was so important for you, that you felt you were getting out of it?
Just that I felt like I needed a kick up the backside, really. I felt like I needed to be
Awakened,
yes,
perhaps.
and I felt quite weak before, and so I was very hungry, to find something, and when I started going to the church, I was enthralled with the way that the pastor preached, and I'd never really been to anything like that before, and it was really strong and powerful, and I felt inspired by it.
And I remember those first 7 weeks following up from the Love School. They were called 7 weeks to rebuild your life, or to rebuild your life, right? Something like that. I think it was 7 steps to rebuild your life, something like that. It even had the blueprint of a house. I remember.
Yeah.
And is that how you feel after this time? Do you feel like you've rebuilt yourself as a person? Do you feel you've rebuilt your life? How do you feel?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel that almost that it was a blessing in a way. Hitting rock bottom.
Right.
It was a blessing. Now I can say that, in hindsight, because it really did inspire me, and I was very hungry to find something, So sorry, I've forgotten the question that you asked me.
No, you answered the question. You said that hitting rock bottom is what pushed you to find a solution to your problems. You were hungry for change.
Yes.
And today, do you feel like that depression has gone, and do you feel like a different person now?
Yes, I do. I feel much stronger, and I still feel, I don't think I've got rid of this idea of you get to a point where it's all sorted. It is. I don't think it's like that at all. I think you just have to overcome things continually. It's a process, and I'm rebuilding myself. And
But do you feel that you are free from the depression? Because that was a big thing for you.
I still get, I still feel down sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel, even though I do feel that sometimes, I'm stronger. Underneath that, I feel that there's something there that's...
So do you feel that you have the tools now to battle?
Yes. My emotions, I've learnt to kind of distance myself from my emotions, and I couldn't do that before.
Okay. But why is that important? Why is it important for you to distance? Because a lot of people will be saying, well, but is that good, to distance yourself from your emotions? Why is that important for you?
Because they're fickle, your emotions are fickle, and I think for me there has to be something stronger there. There's got to be something fundamentally underneath it that, that I can rely on.
Yeah. And that's very important. It's important that people understand that you can't live by following a feeling, because that feeling is there now, but it's gone tomorrow. And if you build your life on that, you won't have a lot of structure for your life. But when you build your life in an idea, a faith, then you have a different structure. And I want to thank you both for being on the program. You were nervous in the beginning, but you did very well, so thank you very much. And I want to agree with something that Jennifer said now at the end, that our lives, you never get to a point where you feel you've achieved everything, because you need to keep going. You can never stop. If Lewis Hamilton, who just won the Formula One championship, 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? And by the way, congratulations, Lewis Hamilton, if you're watching, right? If he just won that and he says, well, next year, I don't have to do anything anymore, then I guarantee you he's not going to win. It's been 6 years since he last won a championship. And this is how our life is. You have to keep going, you have to keep fighting, you have to keep making things better. So even if you hit rock bottom, like Jennifer said, it can be a blessing in disguise, because it can push you to go and try to do something you hadn't done before with your life. So do that. Maybe it's that telephone call to ask for help now. Maybe it's walking through the doors of the church tomorrow morning, or whatever day, and say, listen, I'm here, I need help. If you want to do that, then the number to call is 020-7686-6300. We're going to go into a short break. We'll be right back.
Hi, the Chrissy B Show airs live on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, coming to your homes with entertainment, life issues as well as hard-hitting topics, coupled with friendly and practical advice. I love to look at the happier side of life and believe a person can achieve amazing things when they put their mind to it. The Chrissy B Show, always aiming to show you the happier side of life.
Welcome back. Now, I have Pastor Edward here with me, and we just got an email that came through. I want to get Pastor Edward to read the email. Good evening, Pastor Edward.
Good evening.
Perhaps you can read the email and give some advice to the person.
Right, I have it here. It's from Iris, and she says, hi, I am a single mom. I go to college full-time and work part-time. I have not been receiving regularly shifts from the agency I work for. This has affected me financially. I'm looking for a job, but hard to find the best because of my schedule. I have hit rock bottom because my debts are not up to date. I have given up stressing myself, but it worries me because I want the best for my child. I need advice and motivation to keep going. Thank you. So, Iris, it looks like you are taking steps to get out of this situation, but it looks like your ways are blocked. And James, sometimes, you know, it's important for people to understand. We believe that we need divine guidance, divine help. Not all problems we can overcome on our own. I relate to what she's writing here because I too was once in a situation where I was unemployed for 4 years and I could not simply overcome that without God's help. I found a solution in faith, and that's what I would say. You know, keep taking action. Do not, as we were saying in the previous segment, do not stop. Keep knocking at the doors, but pray. Keep watching. Pray with us. And we hope that this will inspire you, you know, not to give up hope, because the doors will open for you believe. Actually, the Bible says that all things are possible to those who believe. Keep on believing, the doors will open.
And it's important for people to understand as well that, like Marie said, actually your problem, Iris, is very similar to Marie's, because you're struggling with that and she was struggling with that as well. It's important for you to understand that we never come here to this program to offer a quick solution. Because when you have a problem you're battling, very rarely is a solution that quick. You know, anything in life that is worth fighting for, it's a challenge. It involves effort, it involves you putting 100% of your effort behind something. And the same thing goes for a chain of prayer that happens in the church. The same thing goes for you wanting to change things. For example, we're going to pray for this person, Pastor Edward,
yes.
right? We're going to pray for you, Iris. But this one prayer, let me show you what one prayer does. Please, Pastor Edward, come here. If you can turn around a little bit. Let me show you what a prayer does, like this. When we pray for you, that prayer is like a nudge in the right direction. So it does that to you. But that's what it does. But your target is not there where he is now. Your target is still ahead of you. So that one prayer helped, right, Pastor
Yes.
Edward? It put you in the right direction. It made you feel closer to your goal. But you need support. You need someone sometimes to tell you, listen,
Yes.
don't worry, it's going to be okay. And sometimes someone telling you, look, I'm with you. We're going to fight against this together. It doesn't solve your problem, but makes you feel like the burden is less.
You know, James, I believe that sometimes there are things in life that because we can't see how close we are or how far we are from the target, it's more difficult, you know, to keep on just, you know, to believe that if I just keep on doing what I'm doing, that I'm going to get there. For instance, if it's a trip, I can get I can see a sign that says that my, final destination is 10 miles away. But in life, actually, we don't see that. Oh, you're 5 days away from from the answer that you're looking for. But this is it. Sometimes people, they are going in the right direction, and they just have to keep plugging away. They just have to keep on, going in that direction, and eventually they're going to get it.
Yeah. And, I want you to know that we are here for you. We can support you 365 days a year. The good thing I want to let you know as well is that Christmas is coming up, New Year is coming up, and guess where he'll be on Christmas Day?
We are going to be in God's presence.
We're going to be in the church. If you ask me where you're going to spend your Christmas holiday, we don't take holiday. In Christmas or otherwise, we are going to be in the church. From morning to evening, our church opening hours will be the same. That's what we're going to be, because our desire is to support you. So I want you to know there isn't a quick fix to solve all your problems. But I want you to know you have the support here that you need. I want to offer now a prayer for all those who are with us in this program. We're going to pray for Iris, for you that have called, and for you that haven't also. But you need help. You need an open door. Perhaps you've hit rock bottom and you want to climb out of that pit that you're in. Let's talk to God.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like a prayer concerning your spiritual well-being, send your name and prayer request to prayer@findinganswers.tv.
God, through this prayer, we ask you to empower everyone that is watching us now, that believes, or even if they don't believe fully, but if they're joining us in this prayer, it's because there's faith there. So if there's faith, that means you can work. If there's faith, that means there's a space even if it's just a crack, even if it's just a small entrance, a small opening, send your power now to open the ways of this person, to lift them up. Because my God, if anyone is watching us right now and they feel that they have hit rock bottom, the only way to go from there is up. So just, I ask you that this prayer may be like your power prodding this person to go forward, to not give up on trying or believing. We pray for Iris, that you may open the doors for her, that tomorrow, my Lord, actually we're coming close to a new day, and this new day may bring good news to her and to all those who are watching. Yes, why not? Of course that you can bring some good news today, that you can change something right now, and we believe that you are deciding something right now in heaven just because this person is praying with us. That you are deciding something, that you're putting your seal of approval on this person's project, that you're opening a door right now, and tomorrow they're going to receive a phone call with good news. They're going to open the mail and they're going to get a letter that is not a trouble, but it's a letter with an answer, God. That's what we determine right now. And we bless all those that are praying with us, wherever they are, no matter where, no matter what the situation is. We determine that they are being blessed. We bless this glass of water. And when they drink, my God, let them be empowered. Please use this water, which is a natural element you created, to bless the lives of all those who are watching us right now. In Jesus' name we pray. And if you believe with faith, you can say amen and drink the water now.
Very well. And I just want to say two things before we go. I was saying to you before the prayer that during Christmas, New Year, all this time, we'll be there to support you. And maybe say, oh, poor you, Pastor James, poor you, Pastor Edward, you're not going to have holiday. No, poor nothing. That's what we do. It's a pleasure.
We couldn't have it any other way.
Every day we wake up with renewed strength to do what we do. So our pleasure is to help you. And the second thing is reminding you that tomorrow I will have the greatest of all villains here with me in the program. Everyone in the studio wants to know who this is. Perhaps you at home as well. Join us tomorrow for you to know who this villain is. Like I said, he hasn't yet rehabilitated. He hasn't yet changed. I don't know if there is hope for him, but we'll find out tomorrow. Until then, have a wonderful night. May God bless you.